Hey everybody, welcome back to Northernlion. Please abiding by AFTERBIRTH Plus. We lost our last run. Very embarrassing. Was it as Isaac? No, it was as Apollyon? Is that? Yeah, that seems right. Okay. Well, let's play as a character that we've already done boss rush, but don't have to, or have not done Shoal, and Judas fits the bill. What's my methodology there? Beating Shoal, QVFC 800X. Wow, that sounds like, it's like a biological waste processing machine. The QVFC 800X turns corpses into OKs. I don't know if you put corpses in a biological waste, purifying machine. I think you're supposed to put like bloody bandages and stuff in it. This isn't gross. This is science, okay? What do you think a hospital I don't even know if this is true. What do you think a hospital does with bandages that have like, human DNA and potential, infectious materials on them? They got a purifier. I'm pretty sure you throw it in like a big old steamer or boiler or something like that. Then you throw it in the trash. Otherwise, it's probably like mad illegal. I don't know. I'm just taking a guess there. That's my assumption. That's, you know what they say when you make an assumption? You make an ass-adoption. I'm not gonna risk this, at least not yet. Oh. Have we seen a tinted rock? I don't recall. I'm gonna place a bomb. I thought I placed it too far away and became a little annoyed with myself, but I didn't. We literally broke even. Spent a bomb and a key to get a bomb and a key, but resource-wise, we're doing pretty well right now. Or resource-wise, if you will. Look, we have to stop fighting each other in the English language, okay? We gotta fight. We've been the lingua franca, as hilarious as that sounds, for many, many years. But now we're killing ourselves with this constant in-language bickering. How are we supposed to fend off competition from upstart languages like Klingon and JavaScript if we're too busy bickering amongst ourselves? This is some troubling rhetoric. Okay. Kill this guy. Fudge. C#, marry JavaScript. Let's grab this. Head downstairs. We didn't get any spirit hearts. I will say I think the start of games has gotten a little bit more difficult because it's not as... Well, I'm not as open to the idea of blowing up our donation machine. Obviously, you need resources for it to begin with, but I'm not as open to the idea of blowing up our donation machine to get a spirit heart on the first floor because we need to get all the shop upgrades before that really feels like it's a smart idea. Otherwise, we're, taking 2 steps forward, 1 step back. I went for a long walk this morning. I'm gonna tell you, 2 steps forward, 1 step back, not a very efficient walking algorithm. It's like the bubble sort of walking. This has become an insufferable video already. There's an anecdote. I'm listening to this audiobook. It's called Algorithms to Live By. It sounds nerdier than it is, I promise you that, although basically it takes a computer science approach to many tasks that we have in our modern day life and attempts to show you the most efficient or effective ways to organize those tasks. It gets a little too precious for me sometimes, where it's like, here's the optimal way to organize, here's how you should fold your laundry, and I'm like, look, I don't want this to be a self-help book. It's a general interest sort of thing. I don't want to, my wife's going to come in, I'm going to have an Excel spreadsheet open, she's going to be like, what are you doing? I'm like, don't worry, I'm sorting my laundry in the most efficient way possible. But apparently, in 2007, Barack Obama, as a senator, visited Google's headquarters, and had an interview that I can only assume is scripted with the Google brass, in which they asked him, oh, what's the most efficient way to sort a list of 32-bit integers? And he laughed and said, I don't know, but I've got a feeling the bubble sort is the wrong answer. And then the audience erupted into uproarious applause, and I find this anecdote hilarious because I'm not suggesting that Barack Obama is a stupid individual by any stretch of the imagination. He's a statesman, politician, dignified, regardless of your political beliefs. He handled himself with decorum and always struck me as being very erudite. However, I don't know if if this dude knows what a bubble sword is. He was born in, like, 1961. That doesn't mean, you know, there are many computer scientists born in 1961, and you don't have to be a computer scientist to know what a bubble sword is. It just strikes me as the sort of thing that, like, a lawyer turned politician doesn't necessarily have any incentive to know. Oh, this is the first time we've ever gotten Basement Boy. And if it's scripted, that's hilarious, although I guess not altogether unexpected. So this is, I'm just having fun with these runs, basically, and I hope that's coming through in the, dialogue here, but I think that Contract from Below is a better item for accomplishing a win than, careful, than Black Powder, but with 1.60 speed early on this run, why not give Black Powder a chance to disappoint me, right? Try using that as your pickup line. By the way, it probably wouldn't be the first time that a politician has, you know, misrepresented themselves to get votes, I suppose. For other examples of that, see every politician in Earth's history. Anyway, let's move along here. He is right, though. A bubble sword would be the wrong... That would get you laughed out of the Google interview, I can only assume. Because it's something that I would say. And I think that's the approach that I would be expecting as well. Excuse me, sir. We're gonna... Sir, do you have permission to be here, sir? We don't allow snapback Canadian flag baseball hats on the Google campus. It's very... honestly, borderline racist as far as I'm concerned. Let's move along here. I'm joking, Google. Okay, Google. Play Overkill by Men at Work. The run's going great so far. The odds of us having a perfect run are, I would say, 100% at the present moment. Perfect run just meaning we never get hit. So far, so good in that department. Bighorn's always a little bit of a test. I think we've already gotten... No, I'm trying to think. We've gotten, Mama's Boy. Now we've gotten Basement Boy. And I think we've gotten Dark Boy. No, we've gotten Spelunker Boy, but not Dark... Maybe we've gotten all the boys? I'm not sure. I mean, we're an okay Isaac player. These are achievements that the first time through were, like, a little difficult. Now we're doing them accidentally, which I think is a great sign that, you know, we've continued to improve a little bit over our, Rebirth lifespan, despite the fact that, results don't always necessarily indicate that. Either way... Oh, free Spirit Heart. We'll continue moving right along here. Just get in here without... Thank you, okay. Oh, you know what? This is actually a wonderful situation for us to be in to begin with, because we also have so much money to donate to our shops, and the golden key is one thing, but I don't think we're going to get to 250 cents on this run. If I had to place some smart money, I wouldn't place it on that. I would instead invest in Blaze Pizza, America's fastest ever growing chain of food service establishments, funded largely in part by NBA superstar LeBron James. Well, we got to donate about -10 cents. Two of spades is nice, and the boomerang is terrible. All right, let's move along. My number one priority is donating money here. Again, I think I'm gonna not go to the curse room because we haven't taken damage so far. So it might be unnecessarily kind of precious, but I think that we should stay away from deliberately taking damage. Not for survival, because we could, you know, get 2 birds stoned at once here, knock out those achievements that I may or may not have gotten, but have completely forgotten about. We'll do a more, you know, rigorous kind of analysis of our achievements once we get within striking distance of Real Platinum God, which we are not even close to at the present moment, but for now, maybe just, you know, make smart decisions. If there's one thing... Oh, that's pretty good. If there's one thing I'm jealous of Americans for... Is that the proper way to structure that sentence? And I think there are many things to be jealous of Americans for, but if there's one thing in particular, it's the precedence of many, many fast casual dining chains. And it sounds like the way I structured that sentence is typical NL facetiousness. It's not the case. I'm not joking. Not at all. In fact, I've never joked in my entire life. But up here in Canada, we're still, I mean, we have our own stuff going on. Up here, of course, we got, you know, the standard McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, etc., etc. We also have our own Canadian stuff. Like, there's a chain called Harvey's. They do some weird stuff. Sometimes it's a burger joint, but they started serving like rice bowls, except you can replace the rice with French fries. And it's like, sometimes I'm like, who's running this joint? Like an 8-year-old? It's a little weird, but you know, Harvey's, they got some good things going for them. They'll dress your burger the same way that they will dress your sandwich at Subway. You know, you go through like a deli counter and you go, okay, give me extra hot peppers and pickles, blah, blah, blah. Nobody else is doing that. That I know of, at least. And of course we've got Five Guys. We don't have In-N-Out, but we've got some In-N-Out like knockoffs. Like there's a place in Vancouver called Cali Burger. It's a really, ooh yeah, I'll check. Nothing wrong with that. The burgers are delicious, and I gotta say, for only $18 for a cheeseburger, it's a pretty smoking deal. They are delicious though. I'll give you that. I'm making a joke that $18 is too expensive for a cheeseburger, but you know, you make that decision when you look at the menu. Or when you've walked in and decided, fine, I'm already here, I can't just walk out, that'd be awkward. Okay, I'm done with this room. But we're still living in like a Chipotle era. But I do want to point out as well, some of our Canadian chains are supposedly a lot better than the American counterparts. I don't know about vice versa. Like, there's probably some that flip the script there as well. But our A&Ws are, like, relatively high-tier fast food. And I understand, when I tell Americans, like, oh, yeah, A&W's expanding like crazy here, they're like, really? They've been out of business here since, like, 1962. But anyway. You know what? Let's go for broke there. I've eaten at a Chick-fil-A once in my entire life. They've never expanded up here. I understand there's some personal concerns with the executive management of Chick-fil-A, but chicken sandwiches are delicious. I'm not saying that absolves them of that, but I am saying that it absolves them a little bit because they sell chicken sandwiches, I guess, is what if the sandwiches sucked, I would find it way more easy to stick to my principles, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And again, I've never told a joke. I'm not being facetious at all. But beyond this, I've never eaten at a Long John Silver's. As I understand it, Long John Silver's, not really that good. I've never talked to an American who's like, oh yeah, I love Long John Silver's, but there's like no fast food seafood in Canada. There used to be a couple of places. There's a place called Arthur Treacher's. I'm pretty sure it's out of business. There's a place called Salamagundi. Pretty sure it's out of business. You know, these were around when I was like 5. No achievement, but I mean, I'm feeling pretty good about my performances so far. I don't believe that we've taken damage here. And let's squander that. Again, we might have already gotten this achievement in the first place, but anyway. I love seafood. I'm not going to go on another tangent about how, like, you know, I think that... Yeah, I knew it. I'm not going to go on another tangent about how, like, I find it weird that people don't like fish because it tastes too fishy. That's another... I will eat almost any kind of seafood. You know, give me abalone, clam, oyster, mussel. I'll eat the whole thing. I don't care. I would eat oysters way more often if they weren't expensive. If you'll ever go to a place that has oysters, it's always like, you know, $3 an oyster. I'm not paying $18 for 6 oysters. I could get a cheeseburger at Cali Burger for that. See, it was like a little tie-back or a tie-in there. Callback, that's what we call it in the industry. Nothing? We got bombs, we can check. Could be big. But yeah, like you can get a Filet-O-Fish sandwich, but it's not the same. I don't want a Filet-O-Fish sandwich. I want like fish and chips. I want clam strips. I want chicken. I want liver. Meow mix, please deliver. I've never eaten at a Jack in the Box. I've never eaten at a Taco Bell. We have them, but that's a different story. I've never eaten at a Carl's Jr., although when I went to Japan, when I went to Tokyo, they had Carl's Jr. that had recently opened up in Akihabara, and they had people in Carl's Jr. garb outside of it, like flipping signs and like enticing Japanese businessmen to go to the Carl's Jr. And I know what you're thinking, what a stupid idea, that would never work. It was working gangbusters. There was like a 35-minute lineup to get into the Carl's Jr. And when we walked by, like made eye contact with me, didn't mention anything. Didn't speak a word of Japanese. They were just like, this guy knows we're running a... This guy knows it's not worth a 35-minute wait to get into the Carl's Jr. So we're just gonna, like, you know, let bygones be bygones. He's not gonna, you know, try to spoil our hustle, and we're not gonna give him the disrespect of trying to convince him. Sure. I don't know if Carl's Jr. is that bad, by the way. I'm mining it as a little bit of a joke, I'll admit. That was pretty dumb, and let's go. But yeah, like, I'm jealous, but I think that I would become accustomed to it too fast. Because already, like, I don't appreciate variety in fast food to begin with. If I'm at a place that has, like, a Wendy's, a Burger King, a KFC, and a McDonald's, I'm going to the Wendy's every time. It's not like I'm going, oh, the last time I had Wendy's was 3 months ago, so I'm going to go to the KFC this time. Well, let's go off on a tangent that makes sense here. That is truthful, I guess I should say. I almost never have changes in my food preference. And I'm not trying to say that I'm like, you know, DAE, because I think a lot of people, it's the standard rule. If you have to say, does anybody else, the answer is always probably. However, I think that there must be dozens of us out there. Because personally, what makes you larger? Well, they all make you larger if you know, everything in moderation, right? But personally, like, I know some people who are like, I just can't eat another chicken breast. I don't understand that. Well, I mean, I guess I understand it. I'm gonna go for the Guppy Dream. I understand it, but I don't feel it deep in my core. If I enjoy a meal, I'll enjoy it tomorrow. I'll enjoy it, you know, for a week straight. I got no problem with it. We're in actually a dangerous spot here now. You are an actual idiot. Okay, I have to own up to this. First off, I do want to say F you to the game just for a second, because I took no damage for the first, like, 4 floors, and then didn't get enough HP to help me survive here, but I digress. I shouldn't have walked into the champion trying to avoid an enemy that only would have hit me for half damage. But, you know, let's go. Give me a -2 streak, I dare you. I know you wouldn't do it. Everybody gets 1, I suppose. We'll mess that up something fierce and then get another run on camera here, but I could eat the same food as long as I enjoy it forever, I think, without any psychological, you know, I thought it was empty and I was gonna lose my freaking mind, without any kind of psychological impact on a negative standpoint. I'm not the kind of guy who could eat Soylent or drink Soylent all day, every day. I do enjoy, not that Soylent necessarily tastes bad, but I do enjoy the process of masticating and eating food that tastes particularly delicious, but if it had no negative health benefits, I could eat like a Wendy's spicy chicken sandwich every single day and be completely fine with it. So I don't really understand why I'm so eager to seek out variety. Because Lord knows if there was a Long John Silver's in my, you know, town, I probably would have eaten there once and then been like, never again. But it's just the fact that I can't, okay? All these American chains are so downright offensive to Canadians. Not opening branches up here because the market research doesn't support it. Yeah, whatever. Something, seize the means of production. Get the guillotines out. I want my fried fish sandwiches, okay? Now, I am a little bit embarrassed that we lost the last run, despite playing well, which is weird. We played really badly on that one floor and took like 3 hits, and that was enough to erase all of our, like, nearly orders of magnitude better than normal play up to that point. This run's, you know, shaping up nicely. Got, oh, we were gonna have a Tinted Rock, which I hope is not Small Rock, because our speed... do we have Small Rock unlocked? I think we do now, but I don't think we've ever seen it yet. Excuse me, sir. Thank you. We, have Lump of Coal right off the bat, which is just a nice damage augmenter, if not an outright damage improvement in its own right. We could use... I mean, I'm going to ask for 10 out of 10 items because we had a loss 17 minutes into the episode. It wouldn't be the worst thing in the world if we could really just kick the crap out of the game over the rest of it. But probably when you have 10.77 damage, you should stop using your orbital to deal damage because it makes you look like a tool. Okay, you grab this first, and then this actually gives you HP, and now you can fly, and your rate of fire is a lot better, and everything's looking like it's coming up roses here. I think, at least, everything's coming up roses. Here's an etiquette question for you. When is it okay... let's preface this by a topic header. I want to talk about restaurant closing times. Because I think I'm encountering a paradox in closing times. First, I mean, one last call for alcohol, so finish your whiskey or beers. If a restaurant closing time is 9 p.m., what's the latest conceivable time that you can go into that restaurant? Is it 8:59? I think we would all agree that... It's certainly not 9:01. We would all agree on that. Can you step into a restaurant that closes at 9... at 8:59 and expect to be served? I would also accept that, I would expect that the answer from the majority of people is no. Because we all have kind of an understanding that the time that a restaurant closes is not necessarily the time that it's actually active. Like, a restaurant stops being active, like, 15 minutes before it closes? I guess this is what I'm trying to ask. 30 minutes before it closes? What do you think? I say this because Kate and I, there's a ramen joint we really like in the west end of Vancouver called Danbo. It's delicious. There's locations, I think, in the US as well and in Japan. If you ever find yourself with the opportunity to go check it out, I would recommend it. Fantastic. There's a few locations in Vancouver as well. But anyway, I digress. They close at 11. We know this because we go there too often. Leave our apartment at about 10. Tons of time. Then we run into traffic, you know? There's people... we live on a street that gets kind of like... It gets blocked, basically, because people, like, just sit on it and put on their four-way flashers, and then, you know, there's cars parked on both sides, and then cars just blocking the lane, and you're like, okay, I guess I'll just wait for you to come back to your car, or for there to be, like, so much of a gap in traffic that I can fit through. So that took us, like, an extra 5 minutes, and then, you know, apparently parts of downtown Vancouver are basically quarantined because of drunk idiots, so, okay, we got a detour around that. We ended up showing up, like, 15 minutes before close, which Kate's cool with, but makes me a little uncomfortable. And they served us, but and it was a perfect situation, actually. They served us, they were like, just so you know, it's last call, so whatever you order should be everything that you want to order. You can't add anything to your meal because we got to get out of here. We're like, yeah, okay. And then, you know, as soon as they brought the food, they also brought, like, the credit card reader, and we're like, it would be sweet if you could pay now, and then you could take your time eating. I was like, this is perfect, but a lot of restaurants don't do that. Like, sometimes we'll walk into a place that says it closes at, you know, 11. It's 10:40. And then we go to walk in, and, you know, somebody just comes up to us and goes, oh, sorry, it's closed. You can close whenever you want. I'm not, you know, saying that you... Oh, right, we can donate now. I'm not saying that you shouldn't be able to close your restaurant whenever you want, but if you're not going to take people in starting at, you know, 10:45 or whenever... maybe your closing time should be 10:45, but then if you made your closing time 10:45, you'd have to stop taking people in at 10:30, and eventually you're closing before you even open. You see what this is where I'm getting at. This is the meat of the discussion for me is, oh my god. I'm sorry, I'm on such autopilot right now, and I apologize. This is like the 8th time in a row we've taken Bob's brain. Despite it mostly hurting us, but I still like it. When is it okay? I mean, I've previously... We don't want to take this many one makes you larger pills, but I'm gonna. Previously, I think I was like a 20 minutes before closing sort of boy. Let's go. So if a restaurant closes at 9, if I'm showing up after 8:40, at least have a backup plan in mind. I cannot see what's happening. But I don't know. I'm interested to know what people think about it. It seems like the kind of thing that people would... Oh, that didn't actually take any money out of it. It seems like the sort of thing that people would be indignant about. All I would like is if every restaurant did it the same way that that ramen restaurant does it. Where it was like, hey, you know, this is when we'll stop serving you, and this is when we want to close the doors and get out of here. Because right now, it's just like you gotta guess. Like, you wouldn't go to a fancy, like, you know, I'm gonna get a 4-course meal 15 minutes before closing time. But, you know, if your McDonald's closes in 5 minutes, you might still consider that okay to walk in there. So every restaurant should have a last call for food and drinks. And then a time when the doors are shut. Not that we're not accepting anybody, but, like, we're aiming to be out of here by this time. And we're well within our rights to ask you to leave if you get, like, too far beyond this time. Out within the bounds of reason. I'm just throwing it out there as a possible... You know, a more apt approach to running a restaurant business. There's another many people out there, I don't understand it. Mostly. I like to eat. The concept of owning my own restaurant is just terrifying to me. I would never want to do it. If that's your dream, absolutely more power to you. And I don't mean this to be insulting at all. I would never do it. But I hope that if you're considering doing it, you're also watching this episode. Because I'm going to give you some tips that I think are very important. Yeah, you're gonna need to have, depending on the restaurant, you're gonna need to have waiters or waitresses, right? People that bring the food out, take orders. Every restaurant should do the Korean thing where they have a button that you press that goes beep, boop, and when you press that, it puts like your table number up on a screen, so the servers are like, okay, this person wants something right now. I know what you're gonna say, NL. Can't you just, like, say, excuse me, but there's a whole, like, waiting game that comes about. You're like, oh, can you give me some water? And then someone walks by, why didn't you give me the water? Oh, you know, that's not our server, I don't think. Is that our server? I don't remember exactly what our server looks like. Oh, our server went on break. Now we got, you know, Antonio's gonna be our server, but, you know, he's busy with this other table over here that's ordering a cheeseburger with, like, 9 different replacements that they want on it, so it's gonna take us a while. The beep boop is the ideal setup. The other way that you do it, and this is not a drill, people. In South Korea, if they don't have the beep boop button that you press that summons someone to your table, you straight up just yell "Chogyo." You yell it in the middle of, not a restaurant really, but in the middle of your establishment. And then someone is summoned to your table. So it's like every group of friends has a dedicated Chogyo, you know, town crier, whose job it is to summon someone to the table. Because, you know, you get a little, especially in a foreign country, you get a little diminutive. You're like, I don't really want to talk. You know, what if they make fun of the way that I say Chogyo? And then somebody else is just like, Chogyo! That's why I like going out to eat Korean food with Kate's mom, because she has no Chogyo shame. She will just, I mean, yes, I understand there's a Dave Chappelle quote that fits, but she will, does Wayne Brady have to Chogyo? No, but she will Chogyo with the best of them. I'll Chogyo for food. I'll Chogyo for drinks. She'll Chogyo for, like, extra kimchi. And that's why she's an essential part of the dining experience. I won't Chogyo for kimchi. It just makes me feel too self-conscious to ask for more of a free thing. Like, summon a servant to your table to give you free stuff. I mean, you are paying, I guess, for the meal. It's a built-in cost. I'm just saying. I have, like, inexplicably and unredeemably screwed this run. Obviously, oh man. Obviously we had that first death to begin with, but like then also beyond that, I can't control this character anymore. And our stats are good, but I don't think they're good enough for me to be in this ridiculous of a state. I also want to point out our deal with the devil chance is just stupid. 38.13% chance? How in the world have we created that? That's like extra evil via the pact or something like that, but then we gotta deal with the devil, but we've also blown up a donation machine. Like, I have no idea what we've done to create this hellscape in my own image, but it is going relatively quickly. And I don't want to, like, you know, don't compliment me too hard on not posting, you know, a 17-minute Judas loss. The only reason I saved it is because I thought the commentary through the start was pretty good. Sometimes I do have episodes like that. You know what I mean? Like, once a month, I'll just completely mess up an Isaac run and just be like, I'm not posting this. The commentary's not good enough and the play is horrible. You only need to get 50%, you know. If you got, you know, 0% quality commentary, if you're at least doing pretty okay in the game, that's fine. But, dude, we actually might, and this would redeem completely my earlier mistakes and also making myself enormous here. We might be able to get level 4 Bandage Girl, which would be, that was one of the last Rebirth achievements I got for sure. We already have level 3. We'll go Contract from Below, but nothing else actually. We have done boss rushes, Judas, so we don't have to do boss rushes, Judas. Wow, good use of a key, which I think means I'm gonna just teleport right now, and I'm gonna donate. Sure, we could, I mean, those are good items to buy, don't get me wrong, but we got a long uphill battle here in terms of donations, so I do not mind donating more. Contract from Below is nice, but we are looking to up our damage, actually, like, and tiers quite a lot if possible, because more or less, this run is just, like, weird. And I would like to have it be as easy to win as possible. If we could create that situation, or a situation that fits that bill, I would be a very happy camper. Oh, why'd you do it? Well, you know what? We get the guppy chance anyway. Plus, we get to experience charge bars. Charging bars of our days and our nights. I also, like, when I moved to Vancouver, on the subject of restaurants, I was like, dude, some of the restaurants doesn't have a reputation for this city. Why? It's got a reputation for restaurants closing early. But anyway, some of the restaurants are open 24 hours. That's, like, blowing my mind coming from the town that I grew up in. Even, like, a McDonald's or a Tim Hortons being open for 24 hours is crazy talk, right? Then, you know, I went to a McDonald's at, like, 3 a.m. and was like, I never want to see that again. Just, you get a very cosmopolitan crowd at a 3 a.m. McDonald's. You get the guy, you know, waking up for his night shift at the hospital. You get a lot of people, you know, just in from the bars or, you know, an after hours party or something like that. And then you get people for whom, like, 3 a.m. is, you know, that's the middle of the day for them. And that's the scariest part of all. You know, the nocturnal sort of vampire crowd. With no substances in their system, just willfully at the McDonald's at 3 a.m. Like, if I'm at the McDonald's at 3 a.m., something has gone wrong. Like, we're on a road trip, then we got stuck in traffic for like 7 hours or something like that, or... You know, we stayed out, we were like, oh, we'll come out for one drink, and we stayed out all night. That's, you know... I'm a 28-year-old man, it doesn't happen to me all that often anymore. Something's gone terribly wrong. The people who plan to be in the McDonald's at 3 a.m. are the ones that really make me feel out of my element. You know, you're entitled to live your life however you choose to, but I'm like, this isn't my scene. I'm better off at home where I've got a 40.63% chance of getting a deal with the devil on any given floor for some reason. How is it possible that we have high speed and yet I am so slow? Like, I am actually not quite a double our earlier speed since taking that speed down, but, like, not super far away from it. And yet, I guess maybe you carry, like, a slowing factor with one makes you larger? Or is it just because we are larger, it makes me think that we're going slower? I don't know. Couple of different potential outcomes here. The next dream would be to have enough one makes you smaller pills to return us to normal size. But I'm just gonna be honest, I don't see that happening. Okay. To be 100% honest with you, I never should have given up and I don't know the name of the trinket, but hairpin, whatever it is, the zap, the one that charges your spacebar item fully whenever you walk into a boss fight, because it's really, really good. when you're rocking Book of Revelations and don't necessarily have, you know, infinite HP. Which I think certainly fits the bill we find ourselves in right now. Good fight. 40.63% chances screwed me. Angry Fly, Bomb Bag, Popula Duplex, and Notched Axe. They're all pretty not good. But we can at least get a move on here. Remember, we don't have to do boss rush. We could do the Hush fight. Remember, if you do Hush, you can't do Shoal, and if you do Shoal, you can't do Hush. So, we might just take the easiest possible way out here, is my thinking. That's my expectation of things, at least. This run is good. I mean, the last run was good. We should have won easily on that last run. Just threw away a little bit of HP. It's not quite the same situation as that time that I gave up, you know, 7 Spirit Hearts to a Blood Bank, thinking, you know, I'm King Kong, ain't got nothing on me. It's more like, you know, we just find ourselves in a bad spot here. A spot where we had no insulation from failure, I guess, is what I'm getting at. We made a couple of bad mistakes, and then, okay, I will take it, but we made a couple of mistakes, and we didn't have any, like, you know, what's the word? We didn't have, like, an emergency fund to protect us. Just keep using Book of Revelations. You're gonna be fine. I don't know if I stomped on that enemy or the orbital did damage or what, but this floor is all important because we'll find out if we get our level 4 Bandage Girl. Level 4 Bandage Girl couldn't care less, more or less, from a functional standpoint, although it is better than a level 3 Bandage Girl. But I'm more interested in possibility of just getting that achievement knocked out, and it looks like it's gonna get knocked out, so you know, I'm very excited about the fact that we've actually managed to knock out these achievements ASAP. I had to farm these for like weeks the first time I came through this. This is actually just sort of incredible. I'm not gonna take a speed down pill. I'll hold it, but I'm not gonna take it. And I'm just gonna level with you. The odds of me doing Hush are 0. Not near 0. Well, you know what? They're infinitesimal. If I accidentally walk into the Hush fight, I'll do it. Or if I get so strong that there's no other, you know, sensible course of action, I'll do it. But I don't want to fight Hush being this large. Because Hush, you know, it's better if you're a little wily. You know, if you can reliably dodge between his shots. We're far too large to make that conceivable. Dude, okay, I'll be honest with you. It was a little bit of a rush job here, but it's getting the job done. Turns out this run is like a little better than expected. And yet still, like, statistically a lot worse than the last one in every category except HP. You know what I've been learning throughout these new save file runs is that HP is actually more precious than I was giving it credit for. At least on Judas runs. Yeah. So, wait, the cathedral's now open? Since when? Since... Well... Did we do the cathedral? I get mind-flooded sometimes by this, but I think we did do the cathedral, or at least had the option to do the cathedral on our last run that had the Hush, because I'm remembering, I think, that there was the beam of light that could take us up. I might be mistaken, but I think that that is correct. Either way, probably beating Isaac is going to give us the win here. I don't think we conceivably can have the chest. Although this run is capable of beating the chest. I would, as you might expect, prefer not to. Because I want to get this, just the hideousness off the screen here. There we go, speed upgrade. 1.48 speed has me feeling like default speed normally does. You know you're too large when you walk into a room And the only way you know that there's enemies is because the doors are closed. It's structured like a Yo Mama joke, but it's actually a Yo Mama reality. I actually cover so much of the screen, I have no idea where enemies are on the regular. Which is an expression I say all the time. I'm always saying on the regular. Just part of my vernacular. I find it really fits the Northernlion aesthetic. Unlike the whole bubble sword tangent. Now, if you could please just, let's go. This has got to be the right path. And you'll forgive me, I hope, for being a little eager to get this run in the books. First off, anytime I get a loss, I'm eager to follow it up with a win. Not necessarily as quickly as possible, but on the next closest run as possible. Secondly, I took like 11 One Makes You Larger pills and have compromised my ability to essentially even play this game at a certain level of which I feel comfortable, so. Oh, there he is. I'm a little eager to put this one in the books, get whatever unlock you get. I don't know, I'm still thinking like... We've unlocked, I mean, the pentagram I think is a default item. What else do you unlock as Judas? Maybe Dark Judas? Or Judas's Shadow, I should say. The Mark? I think the Mark is available by default as well. The Oh Hi Mark. See, they took that joke away from me by making it a default item. I know you're a fan of Tommy Wiseau, Edmund. You betrayed me. Yo, you can sort of see the shots through your own face, even with One Makes You Larger. That's actually really nice. Are we done? Yeah, we're done. Wait, have we seen this ending? Have we not? No, we haven't. I don't know, man, okay? To be continued. The guillotine has appeared in the basement. Now, that's not what I expected. But we did get one part of the Polaroid done. For now, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the episode. If you did, click the like button. Helps out a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. But for now, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.